Well, hello, everyone. It's good to be back with you, and it's my privilege to be with my friend Tom Cullens. In a former season of life was United Methodist clergy. In your career and my career, we both served as associates of the same church. Of course, a longtime member of our church family. So, Tom, welcome.
Thank you.
Glad you've come over to the parsonage and to sit down and have a few minutes of conversation.
Thank you.
Tell me a little bit about how long you've been at the church. Your family's been there a long time and certainly active members.
Yeah, we moved to Winter Park when I was 10. We were from a small town in South Georgia, so this was like night and day for us. And we joined early in '69. Then I went through confirmation, and it's kind of always been my church home, even though I haven't always lived in Winter Park, Orlando area. It was actually even this church that sponsored me as I went into the ministry. So it's always been my home church.
Yeah, that's amazing. It's really fun to hear stories of folks that were nurtured and raised in the church and then sent out. And so certainly one of the things we're proud of at a church is folks we send in the ministry like you. And our fruit that we're talking about this week is the fruit of goodness. Not a fruit that we always kind of lift up for love, joy, peace, patience. What is your understanding of the fruit of goodness? What is that? How would you define that?
For me, it's kind of something from within. It's a genuine concern for the well-being of other people, wanting to do whatever you can to help improve the lives of other people. Random acts of kindness. It's kind of a general demeanor, a general spirit that when someone looks at you or hears of you, they think goodness, kindness.
Of course, one of the things that's hard is this idea that if goodness is this kind of internal character that's in the nature of God, that's hard, isn't it? That's
absolutely. I mean, I was reluctant to sit down for this because it just goes against your nature to be held up as an example of goodness. The spirit of goodness is you're not really doing anything for yourself. It's all your motivation is to do for others and to help build up others.
Yeah, so it's other focused, right? And I really agree with that. But I also think it's not our goodness. I think it's the fruit of the Spirit is the distinguish. It's not my attempting. I'm going to be good, but it's the goodness of God coming out
comes through
us. And I think that's an important distinction if I'm going to, like you, have any chance of getting my hands around this idea that I'm growing the fruit of goodness within me or by living in the presence. But how do you practice, or how does that fruit of goodness come out in tangible ways in your life?
I grow roses. It's something that's been passed down from my parents,
right,
my grandparents, and so I enjoy sharing the fruit of the rose garden with others, and then in turn it brings me a little bit of reward as I share in the goodness, and it kind of snowballs in a way. The more you share from the fruit of goodness, then the inward feeling of fulfillment, reward comes back, and then it's that much easier to be good to others.
It's something that comes through me, and we talk about it being the fruit or the product of the Holy Spirit. How would you encourage us to kind of walk in step with the Spirit as we've been talking about that passage? The fruit of goodness comes from being connected to the Spirit. How would you encourage us to do that?
Well, a rose analogy for me is that as we grow roses, we're concerned with not only with what we put in, the water, fertilizer, and so forth, but at the same time making sure that we avoid any of the bad stuff.
So it's an awareness, and it's an active vigilance to make sure that not only are we trying to connect ourselves to God's presence and God's Spirit, but also removing those things that would keep us from God's presence and Spirit.
Checking myself, keeping the bad elements out, being aware of what you put in, holiness of thought, maturity of thought, purity of thought, and then practicing. And you just continuing to do acts of goodness, I think just makes it that much easier to cultivate the fruit.
Well, it's really fun to sit down with you and have this time. I know that we have some history together, so it's good to sit across the table. And we have blueberries are the representative fruit for the fruit of goodness, and I am a blueberry hound. I love blueberries. We have blueberry bars tonight with white chocolate and almonds in them, and I can't wait. I can't wait to get blueberries. Let's dig in.